Hey everyone, Andrew Frech here, the View and Product Reviews. Today I want to talk to you about my thoughts on the Provirtec WindMaster Smart Tower Fan. It's the TF02 and if it's worth grabbing or not. So let's go ahead and dive into this fan and see if it's worth a pickup. And by the way, I did receive this from Provirtec for free, so I don't have to return or anything. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. Now, I will say right off the bat, I do like this fan a lot. It is a super silent operation. Now, it's a little bit wobbly, so you can kind of see right here. It wobbles a bit, but it's very secure still in the stand, so it doesn't it won't tip over. Like it's pretty secure, as you can kind of see the wobbling about. But that's the only downside to it. Really though, I love the touchscreen on top. It's super intuitive, and I love the fact that it has an app as well. So we're gonna get some more of the details in a little bit here, but it is very easy to operate, and I have greatly enjoyed having the extra circulation in my house. So like I said, I really do like this fan. Now, as far as some of the features go, this actually has 8 different levels of speed. So even on the highest speed, it goes up to 1 through 8. And even at the highest speed, it's actually fairly silent. So it's not super loud or anything. And a lot of room fans are going to get pretty loud, despite the fact that they're just a typical fan in a room. And this one actually has a fairly silent operation, which is really nice because it's not as intrusive as other ones might be when you're trying to sleep or you're trying to just do other things throughout the day. It really doesn't cause any kind of disturbances. Plus, it has a 120-degree oscillating fan, so you can turn it around like this, and you're going to be able to see how it's turning. And I'll keep it on for a minute while I'm doing some more of the review and talking points. It's got a smart app control as well as a remote control right here. So you can use the Provirtec app, which is really easy to use and very intuitive. It's super simple, so there's not a ton of operations or choices that you have when utilizing it. But at the same time, too, it is pretty straightforward, so anyone can easily use it. And the remote control itself, I do wish it had a little more descriptions for the buttons themselves, but once you learn them, super easy to operate as well. So the whole thing is fairly simple. It basically gives you a chance to be able to be hands-free with the fan. So a lot of fans, you'll know you have the button that you have to turn on and off. But this one, you have a touch screen on top, so you have little touch buttons. But if you do want to use the remote, you can do that from across the room, and the app, again, from the phone. It makes it super easy. So very hands-free overall. And thanks to the precision DC motor, it does mean that it has a very smooth and silent operation, like I mentioned before. So the operation of it is very silent, which is great. So the silent operation makes it really nice for you to say bedrooms, offices where you're having meetings, nurseries, anything like that, where you don't want to have a super loud fan, but you also want to cool down the room, or even just have air circulating at all times, because I have a lot of ceiling fans in most of my rooms to circulate air, and this is just a different alternative for that. This sits on the floor and is easily portable. You can choose between 4 different wind modes. So you have a natural mode, a cool mode, an auto mode, and a sleep mode. So all of those, again, you can customize through the app, but at the same time too, you can have different options for depending on what you're doing, or if you're sleeping or anything like that, you can have those different options to change the modes that you're on. And one of the things that makes this really unique and kind of stands out from a lot of fans is that it actually has a real-time temperature gauge in the fan. So it does tell the temperature in the house, and it's fairly accurate to exactly what the house temperature is at. So this one is probably going to say 68, I'm assuming. Yep, 68 up there. So that's exactly what my house is at, and it is very accurate, which is really cool. It doesn't necessarily cool down the house further. It just tells you what the room temperature is and what the temperature is in the house or the room that you're in. Plus then, if you want to turn off the sound, so the sound right here, you can turn it on or off by pressing the button. So now it shouldn't make any noise. Makes it really nice because I'm not personally a big fan of having noises when I turn on and off a device. So it's nice to be able to mute it when you don't want that noise. Plus then the design is super simple. It was really easy to unpackage. Very large packaging, but it pretty much just came in the one size fan. You had 4 screws on the bottom to install, and then a little bracket you just unscrewed and screwed back on when you were done. And voila, the fan's done. It's all set up. So super easy to set up and took no time at all pretty much. Then lastly, if you do want to have a timer for this fan, you can choose between a 24-hour mode timer. So you can turn it on and be able to leave a setting for certain times during the day, or turn it off at night if you don't want it, or turn it on at night if you do want it on at night when you're home from work or anything like that. So you do have a lot of flexibility there too, and be able to time it all, which is really handy. And overall, I do really like this fan a lot. I love the silent operation. I think that the tower fan is a great idea versus kind of one of those typical wide fans that you might have. And now it does sit 43 inches tall, so it is a little bit taller for some people. If you do not like tall fans like that, but it doesn't take up a ton of floor space, which is the upside to it. Plus, it has some smart features to it, as well as app control, which is really great. And overall, it seems to work really well. I like it a lot. It kind of cools down the room, it helps circulate the air, and overall, I'm just going to kind of keep it here because why not? I like the fan, and I think it works well. So thank you so much to Provirtec for sending on over the WindMaster Smart Tower Fan, the TF02. Until next time, I'm Andrew Frech, the View and Product Reviews. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. And by the way, if you like my content and have made it this far, please feel free to hit the like button on the video and go ahead and subscribe if you'd like. If not, that's fine, I guess, too. And, it always helps out.